Welcome to a brand new season of the TAUK Peer-to-Peer podcast. And this season, we've changed things up a little. I'm here as your new host. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Steph, one of the co-founders of TAUK, long-time industry lover, estate agent of many years, and truth teller. And hopefully we'll really dig under the skin of what makes personal estate agency so great. This season is called Freedom with Foundations. You're going to hear me mention hyperlocal even more than I normally do. We're going to talk about the duality of brand. But most importantly, we're going to hear from estate agents, probably just like you guys who are listening and watching, but who are maybe a couple of steps ahead. So if you are considering going down the personal estate agency route, this is going to be gold dust. Take this like a voice note from somebody several steps ahead. If you're 3 months in or 3 years in and just need a little bit of inspiration, take each and every one of these episodes as the opportunity to restart, reset, and go again. But I'm your new captain. Hopefully we'll hear a load of honesty, some humour, the occasional swear words, and hopefully this season is going to be bigger, funnier, sassier and sharper than ever before, because personal estate agency deserves a personal voice. Welcome to season 3. Let's get into it. Welcome back to episode 8 of season 3 of the TAUK Peer-to-Peer podcast. And this episode, we're talking about something that isn't really discussed enough in this industry. How you can show up with empathy while still running a business, being a heart-led agent. And I've got 2 women with me who do it better than most. Compassionate, grounded, emotionally intelligent, and somehow calm, even when everything around her is trying not to be. That's Jay McQueen. You're sort of laughing at that, I don't know why. And a woman who can read clients' emotional state faster than she can a floor plan, and that is Ciara.
Is that hard?
But look, empathy isn't weakness. I actually think it's a business strategy. So let's get into it. Now, if either of you cry, the other one will cry. I won't cry and I'll just stare at you awkwardly. So let's try not to do that. But when did you realise that being emotionally intelligent wasn't just part of who you are, but is actually a competitive advantage?
I think quite early on in my self-employed journey, because it had actually been something that had come up when I worked in a corporate world that had been used as a negative about me. And when I came into this business and you start getting feedback from clients, and it's feedback that you've never experienced on the high street, I think it's then that sets you realise that it's setting you apart from everybody else.
Why do clients trust you?
I think they just always know that I'm on their side. And I just think showing up for them all of the time and being as invested in it as they are, I think as long as you make it really evident that that's what you're about, why wouldn't they trust you?
Have you always been heart-led, or is that something that's developed over time?
I've always been a mushy pile of goo in most situations. I cried when Bouncer, got killed in Neighbours again quite a long time ago. So I've always been quite an emotional person. Someone cries in front of me, I just burst out in tears as well. So that's always been who I am. But I think in our job, it's really important because I think we meet people in their daily lives at a point which is normally a landmark move for them. So whether it's sometimes bereavement, it's divorce, it's exciting things, babies, marriage, all those sorts of things. So I see it really as a privilege to be part of that journey with them. And because of that, actually, you are emotionally invested in these people. And not only that, but emotionally invested in making the right decision for them. And sometimes that isn't the right decision for you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the right decision for them. And I think that's a huge difference between worlds of estate agency, especially with us in personal estate agency.
Do you think women are underestimated emotionally?
Yes, because being emotional doesn't mean you're weak. And I think that the two things completely, people think that sometimes as a woman, you might be, don't, how many times we've been told, don't get so emotional, don't get this, don't get that. Well, yeah, actually emotional means you believe in something.
Yeah.
And I do think you're underestimated because of that. And like Ciara said, to be told and being told it's a weakness within a business setting is totally wrong. You wouldn't say that to a bloke. So, I think definitely underestimated as far as that's concerned.
Let's go into that then. Tell us a little bit about that situation.
It came up multiple times. It wasn't just a one-time thing. It was actually that I cared too much about the people that worked for me, or that I cared too much about the client, and as a result, I couldn't see the business's perspective, and that I wouldn't be able to separate myself to look after the business needs because I was so involved in the client's needs. Because sometimes recommending things or giving people advice that doesn't sit right with you, now I can say I'm giving you the right advice, but I haven't always given the right advice. And I think that's where it was challenging. And I found that stopped me from progressing maybe in areas where I should have got a role or got a job, and I didn't get it because of that view.
But interestingly now, you will have a more successful business, you'll earn more money, your business is probably more profitable, pound per time than
I would class it as a superpower now. Like, without doubt, I would class that as my superpower now.
When does caring become carrying too much, though? Where's the line?
Yeah, I think...
Do you have a line, Jane?
I have sleepless nights. No, but genuinely, there are times when you go to bed thinking about a situation and you wake up thinking about the situation. So, I'm joking about that. But it's because we care that we're as good at our jobs as we are, because we do care. So yeah, there will be times that, you have got to switch off from that. But I do think that there's other times that actually thinking about it, sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and go, actually, that's how we're going to solve this situation, or actually that's how we're going to deal with it. So yeah, you can carry too much. And I think we're probably prone to that because we're in this industry, which, let's make no bones about it, we've come from an industry that says it's about the bottom line and it's about the profit and it's about the money and it's about X, Y, and Z. We are now in a business where it's not, it's about the customer. So because we're all in that frame of mind already, that we're invested, aren't we? So we can't come away from the fact that we're always thinking about it. But I genuinely think as long as you're not keeping yourself up every night thinking about it, it's a positive.
Yeah, 5 nights out of 7.
That's okay.
Fine.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
So talk to me a little bit about that then, because I think some of it's setting boundaries, for your time, your energy, your business. That sort of setting expectations sounds really corporate, but I think it's crucial.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more.
Yes,
I can't because I don't have them.
I think that maybe that is experience in doing it, because I think that I'm still all in at 250%, and that's not saying that other people that have done it longer aren't. I think they might have just refined their business better, and I think that as you grow your business and you keep going, you have to set those boundaries to keep you sane, right? Am I at that point? Probably not. But I think in terms of making time and cut off times and things like that, I think that that's part of my evolution. Yeah, possibly.
I think it changes it. Like you said, it's something you learn from. That I think initially when you first start going out on valuations, you're very much like, oh yeah, you can call me anytime. You can, I'm always there for you. I'm always on the end of a text message. I'll always answer you 24/7. But the reality is something completely different in that you learn to say, unless it's urgent, and if it is urgent, my goodness, I'm going to be there if I've had 10 gins or not. If it's urgent, I'll pick up. I might slur, but I'll pick up. But if it's not, and it's something I can deal with in the morning, what I tend to say to my clients is, look, if it's just getting it out of your head and into mine, stick it on a WhatsApp. If there's anything I need to action there and then I will. If it's something you just need to tell me, just having that access to me when you need to have that access sometimes just does the job. I just need to let Jane know this. And as long as they know they can do that, but I'll only act on it if it's something that needs to be acted on this evening, for example, then I think that's where your boundary needs to lie.
Do you think you can do that?
I think that's a learning for me. Thank you, Jane.
It's all right.
Every day's a school day, guys. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
Have you had to say no to a client yet? Yes. Yeah.
Tell me.
I actually have said no to 3. But just that wasn't a boundary necessary. That was they didn't get what I was doing and why I was doing it that way. And for me, I wasn't prepared to compromise on the standards of what I do all the way through from marketing, all the way through to completion. I wasn't prepared to move off that for somebody else. I wasn't going to deliver a subpar performance as such because they didn't get it. So yeah, I have, but it wasn't a boundary thing. It was just not the right fit. And actually, I think you would be better placed with somebody else that works the way that you expect them to work.
Do you think female agents carry an emotional load that some male agents don't even know exists?
Oh, now I would say normally yes. But I think in our world, I think there's a lot of men doing what we do in TAUK that feel as well as we do. So I think in the high street, when it's about targets, numbers, don't give a monkeys, customer comes probably at the bottom of the list somewhere along the way. I think in TAUK, it's slightly different. I think we've got a better, can you say better calibre of men on a podcast?
What I was thinking. Say whatever you damn well please.
That's exactly what we were all thinking.
But I think we have far more emotionally intelligent men within our business than I would say than we do elsewhere.
Yeah. I think that was a really nice way of putting it. I agree.
Yeah.
What's the difference between being heart-led and just being a people pleaser?
Oh,
let's not ask Ciara.
Yeah, but no, I think I'm with. But I'm the same. Please like me. I don't know. I'm struggling to answer this just as much as you are. I do
think there's a difference, because there's a difference with being emotionally invested in somebody and their journey rather than being a yes person.
Right,
and I think sometimes being a people pleaser is just saying yes, accepting everything, bending over backwards at your own detriment. And that's very different to I'm emotionally invested in getting you where you want to be, when you want to be there kind of thing. So I think that would be the difference for me.
It's also advice, right? And that sometimes we've got to tell people things they
don't want to hear.
Don't want to hear.
Yeah. Very
normally
difficult
around
for
their
people
price.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a client the other day saying, can we advertise that we've sold one of these houses? Well, we haven't.
Oh.
But, well, why don't we just tell people that we have? Well, no. Again, as much as I'm invested in selling these plots of houses, you can't. And I think there are boundaries that not only they go against, what you should be doing and the right way to do a job, but also, again, about your time and your, your business as well, because you're building a business that you want to be seen to be professional and brilliant and amazing. And that's what we're all trying to do. But there are people that will come in on that and potentially ruin what you're trying to do. And you've got to keep those people at arm's length, don't you, really? Yeah. On every level, whether that's people telling you can't do what you're doing. I'm sure we've all had friends and stuff in the past who've said, is it a good idea to go self-employed? Is it a good idea? And they zap your emotion sometimes, don't they? And make you question. And they're the people you don't want anywhere near you. You want your champions, the people who tell you can do it. And then you can set your own boundaries on the back of that then, can't you?
Imagine there's a heart-led agent watching this video now and they're drained, they're exhausted, they feel guilty, they're not doing enough. More than likely they are self-employed as well. And so they're thinking, flipping it, because if they're not at TAUK and they don't take advantage of advance commission, they've not had a completion for 4 months and all that kind of stuff. What do they need to hear today from you guys?
That was me. That was me back in January of this year. And I was done. I was just exhausted. But
you were employed at that point?
I was employed, yeah. So, and I made a decision very quickly on the second week of January to just do it. And I think it was a conversation with you where I went, I have ran out of reasons not to do it. But I think I still definitely had all of the same fears that everybody has with being self-employed, but it'd also been drummed into me that the way that I work wasn't appropriate for the industry that I was in. And that just couldn't be more wrong. And you will find your people that appreciate everything that you are doing and every emotion that you invest into them, and they will run for you. They will be your champions for you. They will tell everybody, they'll tell every person that they meet in a coffee shop, they'll tell every neighbour how great you are because you are so different, and you just have to take that chance on yourself.
I think it's what Ciara said before, use it as your superpower.
Yeah.
Switch it, flip that switch and use it as something that makes you good at what you do. And then when your reviews start coming in, telling the whole world that that superpower that you've got is brilliant, then actually you've just, cemented the good in what you do and how, my goodness, you're not right for the industry. Yes, you are.
Yeah. I mean, I still get over emotional when I read some of my Google reviews. Like, I still can't believe that people respond to an estate agent in that way, because we're just told all the time that everyone hates estate agents. They don't. They hate those estate agents. They don't hate you. They don't hate what you can provide. They hate them.
Yeah.
It's the nicest thing, isn't it, when you show in a buyer around a house and they say to you, gosh, wish we had gone with you and not with you. I get that little part of you inside just goes, yay!
There's a little party.
Well, you should have done. Yeah, you're right. But, it does. It makes, and you don't realise how different you are until you get comments like that, do you? You think, well, no, this is how I've always done the job. This is normal for me. But then when you hear somebody say little things like that, you think, no, it's not normal.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
Are you a better you here?
Oh, tenfold, if not more. Yeah. I'm just happier. And I think that I'm happier even in my job. I enjoy my job so much more, but that's infectious, right? It's infectious to your friends and your family and to your clients and everybody. Like, I think I've said before, I've never felt more at home working for a brand than I have felt here.
No, I completely agree. Happier. But and I would flip it the other way, that, if you're happier in your job, you're happier in every other aspect of your life. And it's just a really lovely feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. But that was 3 to 4 weeks in for me. So obviously you've still got the fear, you still dread that it's all going to fall apart and you're not going to be able to do it and all of those things that goes on and on. But I was happier almost instantly.
What would you tell your younger self?
How young? There's an 8. There's a lot of time.
There's a few years there. Well, don't be an estate agent.
No, I would. But I would now. Like, I would now, because I think that there's some real power in feeling like you are changing the way people view a historically negative industry. So I think that would be... I always do it. I always question whether I should be an estate agent. My mum and dad wanted me to be a teacher, and I thought I'd have been a great teacher. Maybe I should have just done that. Until this year. And now I'm like, no, you are in the right place. You are doing the right things. I think my advice would be keep doing it, but maybe do it earlier.
I agree. Not with what you've said about you, but the same with me. I wish when I talked to Steph about it earlier than I did, I wish I'd taken the plunge back then. Why wait? Why what? Why wait?
It's funny, isn't it? Because I said earlier that everybody else says that, and you don't believe that that's the case. You think that that's just something that somebody's saying.
Yeah.
And it genuinely isn't. I don't know that I've met anybody that doesn't say the same thing.
Yeah. Hindsight's 20/20, isn't it?
It's a great George Benson song. Can we hear that from you?
No, I don't know all the words.
No,
not today. Not today.
On just a very slightly different tangent, very quickly, if somebody's watching this, whether they're 1 day, 1 week or 1 year in, and they're struggling a little bit, what would be your advice to go out and get a piece of business today? What should they be doing?
Pick up the phone, I would say, to Nick or Mia or Dan Woods or Nelly or
Jane.
Or Jane. Pick up the phone to an OG or someone nearby to you and go and have a tea, a coffee, a brew and, brainstorm. You'll just get something that will drop into you and you go, right, I'm going to go and do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would go and tell at least 10 people who you are and what you're doing in one way, shape or form. It's really easy to say, and I will always say knock a door for business, because go knock a door for business. But actually, if there isn't a door that you can knock, which there is, but if there isn't a door that you can knock, go and tell 10 of your friends that you haven't told, or 10 acquaintances that you haven't told, 10 of your neighbours, 10 people in the coffee shop. Go and tell 10 people what you're doing and ask them to help you spread the word.
Love that. back on empathy, and I think the lesson that we can all take away from here is that if you are in a style of estate agency that doesn't necessarily give you the time and the resource to be able to really show a client that you're there to help them move and that they're not just a number on a spreadsheet or a box to be ticked, then you probably belong in the world of personal estate agency. And while I'm saying that, guess what? This is the home of personal estate agency, and we will see you on the next episode.